Hello and welcome to another little screencast of TriggerMesh. I'm going to log in. You're going to see this beautiful Auth0 splash screen, and then we're going to get into our platform. We talked about services in a previous screencast, and what I want to show you today are actually builds. As part of the Knative and what is underneath TriggerMesh, we have a build system. So when we created a service with an application that was on GitHub that contained a Docker file, it triggered a build, and that build then pushed an image to an internal Docker registry. All right. This build happens because it's using a set of build templates. That particular build uses Knative, which is a tool from Google to actually build a container image within a Kubernetes pod underneath. Okay, so you can here see the YAML of the actual Knative template object. We have other templates as part of TriggerMesh, Node.js one, an AWS custom runtime, so you can run your lambdas inside TriggerMesh, an Azure runtime, and then also some OpenFaz templates, okay, that you can use if you want to package your OpenFaz functions with us. Okay. So now, how do you actually trigger a build? What we did is that we integrated with GitHub, so you can say, hey, I'm trying to run this job here that's on GitHub. I'm seeing a list of all my GitHub repository, and I said next. When you do this, you're registering a GitHub repo, and our backend is going to look at this cloud-build.yaml definition inside the repository. So here, this is a toy example. You'll see what a cloud build looks like. It's very similar to Google Cloud Build. It has a set of steps, and here the first step is going to do an ls, the second one is going to do a date, and the third one is intentionally an error. It's going to try to run binfoo. So when you register this, our backend creates a build. So it tells you that the source of this build is here, this GitHub repository. And then you see all the steps here. So when we have the ls step, actually did an ls within the workspace where there was the code that's been defined. The second step did a bin date, and the third step actually failed. That was intentional. Because it failed, we now have a red build actually. And what I can do is I can edit actually this build file, and I can remove this step and just commit the change. And once you commit the change, we should see another build happen. So here you see that you have another build that's been triggered automatically from a GitHub push. It has the shorthand of the commit, and now we see that we have a build that's fully green, ls, and then the last step bin date. All right, and we removed the failing step. So that's what you have. You can do your builds now directly within TriggerMesh. Register a GitHub repo that contains a cloud-build.yaml definition, and this will do your builds. It is more than just doing a build with existing build templates like Knative, but you can actually do any type of steps. So that opens the door to lots of different possibilities.